Hi, Axel. I just kind of wanted to show you my garage and what I'm working with right now. Excuse me. I have a couple different categories of car that I've been working on. One of the first ones I worked on was what we call the Vixen, right about here. This is sort of a British two-seater sports, very, very sporty car, actually. I don't have the actual specifics up yet. I'll give you detailed stats on them when I can. But there's a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. The Mark 2 has an engine difference. I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly. I recently played with it and I don't remember what I did with it. But there's a couple of other families. So we have the Union Standard Martel. That's like our go-to kind of upmarket sedan, kind of 80s or early 90s Honda style, reliable family go-getter kind of car. And then I have versions of that. So I have the Master, which is an upmarket one that has like a little bit of a higher trim. We have the Martel Mace, which is the dedicated race version that just uses a very, very high high displacement engine. And then we have the Micron, which is a much smaller engine, actually smaller even than the regular one, but massive turbos. So almost like you can think of it like Evo 10, kind of old school Americana. That's kind of what we're going with here. And then we have that what we're calling the Transia. That's a different submark of Union Standard. And we have the Transport and the Transporter's Cup. Now, I call these the Transit because these are all transverse engines, so that's the only way I could get a big engine to fit. So the Transport is pretty fast on its own, but the Transporter Cup is yet faster. I'll give you the specs on those soon, but those are really, I'm pretty proud of those. From a packaging standpoint, those are probably my greatest achievement. But then we go to the pièce de résistance, the Union Standard Vant. We already explained what this is. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer in on that so you can kind of see, because that's a little bit what we're dealing with here. You can actually see that we have like a pizza delivery box in the back. So there's only one seat in here, which is how I was able to get it to go so fast. It has one seat, not two, one. So I forget exactly which engine I dropped into this. I apologize for the lack of technical specs on these things. I wish I could kind of pull it up. In the downward corner here, I could pull up like general sportiness and drivability, but like it's not really helping. So like if I go to Union Standard and the Vant, it's giving me a 53.4 on sportiness, but like that doesn't really help me. You know, it doesn't give like useful specs or anything. Like emissions, I don't give a shit about emissions, not currently. But I just sort of thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. So we got the Vixen family, we've got the Martel family, we've got the Transia Submark, and then we've got the Vant. Just kind of on its own. I'm almost tempted to let that be its own thing. Just not even make versions of it. Just like one. Just it's the Vant. Like I want it to kind of stand on its own like a fart in the wind. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Have a good night.